Thank y'all for joining back up again. I'm sorry.
Patreon coming soon.
OnlyFans
on the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it out anyway. All right. What up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the HoopTalk podcast. I'm your host today, HoopTalk Nas, joined by my dog TyDolla, and we got Lando, aka Pluto. We're gonna get into some hoop topics, talk about some NBA, some local, college, high school, everything related to hoops. All right, so y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe, like, share with all your friends and family, so they can all join the conversation. Maybe offer up a couple opinions too. All right, thank you all for joining back up again. All right, so let's get right to it. Check up. Let's hoop talk. All right, today we're gonna have a lot of interesting topics. We're gonna actually have a lot of debates. Of course, we're gonna start off with our out of bounds question of the day. Pluto's gonna lead us off with that, and then we're gonna have a quick little fast break of some interesting stuff that's going on. That's gonna be led by me. And then all of us got a few things that we want to kind of talk through, some things that are happening in the league or in basketball overall. I know Pluto, he wants to address the Orlando Magic. Are they really a contender or not? Jalen Green, where does he rank amongst his peers? And last but not least, Pluto's going to try and tell us if Draymond Greens should stick around on the Warriors or not. TyDolla has a few things. TyDolla has a few things on his mind as well. Lakers and the future of their leadership group, whether it's the head coach or even the general manager or all these people, where do they stand for next season? Some matchups that are coming up with some playoff implications. We're going to talk about those. And then if you got to start a team, who would you pick? All right, so he's going to lead us off to see who would you start a franchise with. And I myself got a couple interesting things that I want to talk about. Caitlin Clark to start off. She got offered a very interesting deal. We're going to talk about that very soon. Hall of Fame or not? That's a debate that I've been hearing around social media lately, and I would like to hear you guys' opinion on who deserves a Hall of Fame spot and who does not. And then my favorite topic, sports betting, and our good old friend, John Tay Porter. So we got a lot of things to talk about today. But like I said, we're going to lead off with my man Pluto with his out of bounds question of the day. Pluto, get us talking, man. What is it?
All right, y'all. This is just something I've been thinking about recently. How many years of good basketball where Steph Curry could be your catalyst? How many years does he have left of that? Steve Kerr said he was doing it for 15 years now. So do you guys think he can still do it? Because I feel like this year has been a very watered down version of Steph Curry. So, how many? I'm thinking he has about 2 good years of being like as good as he is now. I think we're on the last 2 years of his prime year where he's not going to be like a second option or something like that. So what do you guys think?
What are we considering? Like, you're just saying how many more years of productivity he has left in him? Like, at a star level?
I think he can be an NBA as long as LeBron. I think as a shooter.
As like the leader of the team?
But as the leader of like your primary star, like everything is based off him. How many years do you think he has left in his thing?
3 years.
3.
Him being a shooter, obviously he's a great finisher, great passer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you see shooters, they last very long in the league, especially his type of shooting. He can shoot anywhere. The man's coming off screens. The man's shooting half court still. He's still Curry. It's just everyone around him is not doing too well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 35 years old. He's averaging 26 points per game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he's going to continue this trend, if this is watered down, then I think he could be the number one option for a long time. Think about MJ. MJ was the number one option on the Wizards. The most he averaged on that team was 22. But
we don't talk about the Wizards.
But the most he averaged on that team was 22 points per game. You get what I mean? Yeah. So, like, he doesn't have to average 30. So, I think until he retires, he should be the number one option on a team unless injuries make him a worse player.
You think he should leave on a high note? Kind of just to throw another question to that question. Do you guys think Curry should leave on a high note where he leaves with knowing he is the best player when he's leaving? Or is it more of like a Shaquille O'Neal type of thing where we were like, why is Shaq still playing? Like, when he played with all those teams trying to ring chase. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I don't think that's possible for guards really to get super watered down at the end.
Yeah.
it's easier for centers because you rely on you're posting up, you're protecting the paint, you're getting banged up a whole lot. I mean, it deteriorates it quicker. I think as a guard, he'll be good. Worst comes to worst, becomes a second option. He starts playing more like Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Mainly spotting up. But I think he's gonna have 3 solid years as a leader on that team. They got some young guys coming in, Kuminga.
Yeah.
Pod.
Yeah, Pod is smooth.
Yeah, they're looking real good. They have a good team.
He is. He's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he will ever reach Shaq's level because Shaq really deteriorated. You know what I mean?
We watched Shaq crumble.
Yeah. After he left, what?
The Heat,
Miami. Yeah, after he left Miami,
Shaq's last good year was one.
Yeah, Curry's not gonna get there. Yeah, that was the last highlight of Shaq's career. Like I don't think he'll ever reach that level. So I think he might.
He'll go out like Kobe. He'll go out like Kobe.
Yeah, maybe even better.
Kobe had a rough 2 last years. Yeah, I think he goes out better than Kobe.
Okay, so
I think he goes out like Reggie Miller. I think Reggie Miller had a solid career throughout. Yeah. He dwindled down at a correct rate, and then he had a solid last season. I think he goes out like Kareem, like Reggie. I think he goes out like that.
Maybe Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. I think he goes out like that. I think he has a better ending than Ray Allen.
I think Ray Allen has a great ending, but
now we're going to get into our fast break for the day. We're going to talk about a couple things that are happening, some interesting stuff, just to see what you guys think. A couple of things that caught my eye based on the last few days since the last time we did a podcast. The Lakers just beat the Bucks without LeBron for the second time. All right, for the second time.
Love it.
What was the lead?
What was it? 30 points in the third quarter. I was watching it.
No, it wasn't 30. That was
it was at least 20. It was at least
19. Yeah, it was 19 was the most.
It was 30 at one point.
It might have been. Yeah,
it was 30 at one point.
Going into the third, they were up about 19, or not going into the third, but at some point in the third, they were up like 19, and then AD said, "Fuck no." And just took over.
AD or was it? Because I was watching that whole game. I think
it was all 3.
Russell. Yeah.
Realistically,
also Austin Reeves. You had to talk about.
Yeah, realistically, it was Austin Reeves. He took
Honestly, it was probably Doc. Doc is already in playoff. He's already ready for the playoffs. He's giving us a taste of what's happening.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves had a triple-double, though.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But that's the second time. The point I was trying to make, though, is that's the second time they beat the Bucks without LeBron.
Yeah.
So I don't mind. Are the Bucks for real, man, or are they just pretenders, man? Are they contenders or pretenders?
I think the issue is it's going to be Doc again. You got Dame coming in. He's learning how to play with them. He's not there yet.
I think the first time was with Adrian Griffin, though.
I'm still blaming Doc, though. Like, that could tie back to somehow.
We're just going to blame Doc. Okay.
It's Doc.
All right. Well, on the same note, talking about the Lakers, AD, guys, we'll get ready for this. At the end of this season, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Davis will play over 70 games.
Not if I can help it.
That. What did you just say? Show the camera. What did you Not if he can help it. Like, what are you going to do, man?
We get ahead of ourselves on this.
I mean, he's at 68 right now. He just actually he played today, so he's at 69 right now. So he just needs one more game to play 70. The Lakers had 9 games left last time I checked. So if they play today, they only have 8 games left. So really, he just has to play 2 of those games to be able to get over 70.
When was the last time he's done that?
I'll tell you right now, but
it's got to be back on the Pelicans.
Yeah, definitely 100%. He's never.
It might be his rookie year.
No, I don't think he's ever done that in his career.
Yeah, he played 75 games. His second to last season with Pelicans.
With that buddy.
2017, 2018.
He did have a good year that year. That was the year they lost to the Blazers, I think. That was the year they lost to the Blazers with him and Boogie. Yeah. I remember Boogie got hurt. Kind of quick to talk about AD and Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. I think this team that the Lakers have is the team that LeBron's felt the most comfortable playing with. I think the Heat teams were good teams. I think the Cavs teams were good teams. I even think those old Laker teams were good teams. But like when it comes to actual fit and like having like players who can kind of create on their own,
superstar defender and AD.
I think this might be the best team, and it sucks because this is like a ninth team.
Right. I was about to say,
But
it's funny that you say that because
yeah.
this is the worst record he's ever had in such a long period of time. He hasn't had a losing record, but he also hasn't had the best winning record.
It's wild though because they have not really been that injured this season. At most,
no, they have been very injured.
Yeah,
not really.
The stars haven't been injured, but the supporting cast has been injured.
But that's the issue. You still have your stars there, and they're what, 41 and 32, 41, 33?
And then that click with Russell happened out of nowhere. Like he just
no man, kudos man. Shout out to D'Angelo Russell, bro. He hooped his way out of a trade, bro. Like he hooped his. He was really about to get traded, bro.
China.
We were genuinely about that Murray.
No, we were 100% about to have
Murray's balling out too right now.
Facts.
Murray's
facts.
40 shots and 40 points, but
he said y'all don't want me. Fine, I'll show y'all what you're missing out on.
I'm a winner. I'm a win.
Beat Boston back-to-back nights, back-to-back in less than 4 days.
Yeah, he's hit like 2 or 3 game winners in the last month or so. Yeah,
he's nice.
He used to do that on the Spurs. He's a good mid-range scorer, and that's the only thing he really gets at the end of the games.
Man. He's a bucket, man. I have a group chat where we talk a lot of hoops. Our photographer will attest to it. They be talking about Dejounte Murray wasn't worth the hassle, which I understand now that maybe they were right. Maybe it was a good idea to keep D'Angelo Russell. Yeah. But like Dejounte Murray can hoop, man. Like that would have been a good pickup. Yeah,
we never knew that Russell was going to do this, and he did.
Yeah, Dejounte Murray can hoop, so it would have been good. But D'Angelo Russell definitely did step up, so kudos to him, man. But enough about the Lakers. A lot of other interesting.
Really stole $10 million from people. I'm sorry.
The Heat, Spoelstra hates the Lakers. He's sending spies over there. That's all it is.
Love that.
Yeah, no, for real. But the Rockets, man, they're making a strong play-in push. They are about to be in that play-in tournament if the Warriors can't get it together, which they have got it together. I'm not sure where they stand right now. I think the Warriors are playing right now.
I don't trust the Rockets on the road.
Yeah, that's true. But I think the Warriors are playing right now.
Jalen Green has figured it out since the All-Star break release.
He's got a couple mouths he's got to feed soon, man.
You know why it is, though? It's because Pornhub got banned. The Texas teams are killing it right now. Pornhub got banned, and those teams are like lighting it up. I don't know why, bro. It's crazy. No, bro, since March 15th when it happened, they're 11-0. All of the Texas teams. They've not lost a game.
I'm not on the Spurs. We got to put that article up. I did not know that was a thing.
Before that band got put.
I'm sorry for you guys. Do we have Texas fans?
What do you mean? Like me?
I'm not just. Shout out Beyonce.
Oh, I don't know. If you're a Texas fan, man, shout out. Yeah, shout out Beyonce.
Shout out Beyonce.
We're not going to talk about that. Did we explain why that's on there yet?
No, we
haven't. We're not going to. But if we have any Texas fan, man, hit the comments. Get us a little cowboy hat or a little rocket. I think there's a rocket launcher emoji, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, the Rockets are making a playoff push. We're going to talk about Jalen Green today and a little bit more depth. But the 65 game rule, I have a couple of things on that are kind of one good thing. One positive is Kawhi. Kawhi meant that 65 game rule. I actually want to see when was the last time he played 65 games.
He's also been having a great season. The Clippers, since they got Harden, they've kind of figured it out too.
Yeah.
Westbrook, I think he's just coming back. Just came back like 2-3 days ago.
Fractured hand.
Yeah, but since they got Harden, that team is not the same at all.
Yeah, Kawhi hasn't played 65 games since 2016-17 season. He was on the Spurs still.
He was like top 3 in MVP that year.
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you right now.
They was beat the Warriors that one game.
Yeah, he was. He was third in MVP voting. You are correct.
Wow.
He was all NBA. He was all NBA first team, all defensive first team, and all-star defensive player of the year, third vote.
Wow. Good season.
Not defensive player of the year, but he was third in voting, third in MVP voting. So yeah, that was arguably one of his best seasons. But that was the last time he played 65 games, and I mean this season. You can argue that he deserves some conversation about MVP. He's not the winner, but he deserves conversation about it. Like he deserves to be. He deserves to be up there and like he's carrying a team.
Yeah.
Paul George has dwindled. You know what I mean? Yeah. James Harden has done great for them, but he hasn't really been.
He's not James Harden of Houston.
But he's their heartbeat. A lot of people like say like who's the leader, and I've never thought I would say this, but James Harden's their leader.
They need to
say that Russell Westbrook. I think Russell Westbrook's their spiritual like. There's always that one player. Yeah, like their spirit animal, pretty much. But I think when it comes to like how the system, he is their system.
Yeah,
they get so many buckets off dump offs, off the 3-pointers, off the kick and drives. Like James Harden, I think, is another person who hasn't really got a lot of praise for being a third option now. like a legitimate. He has no choice because Paul George and Kawhi are over him.
But to be willing to do that with like the style of play that Harden has and how good he is wild.
Should have done it with Maxey and
He did.
Embiid.
He did though. He took a step back.
Was he really the third option?
Well, he was tweeting every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't like the narrative that he took a step back. I feel like he did the things that he likes to do at a different rate. I feel like with the Clippers, he's truly taken a step back where he's really like, I don't gotta score, I don't gotta ISO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can spot up. Kawhi and Paul George draw a lot of attention. Let me just let them do their thing. You know.
Yeah.
But on a negative note, though, when it comes to 65 games, I don't know if anybody's noticed, man, but we talk about Halliburton playing bad since the All-Star game, man. But Halliburton, I think he's pushing for the 65 games. He recently just made complaints about some sort of hamstring issue.
He's had a hamstring since before the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's playing hurt. He's playing hurt to be able to meet that 65 games because he wants a supermax. I'm pretty sure, which I think is the negative of the 65 game rule because now these guys are forcing themselves just for the sake of the money. Which I get it, man. You know, you got to build that generational wealth, but there's a positive and there's a negative to it. And I think Halliburton is an example of a negative. What if that turns into a worse? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a young guy. Yeah. Like he said it himself. He came back early because of the 65 game thing, but he's young. That Pacers team is young too. They're going to continue to be good, but if he's out because of injuries,
I don't think Pascal's staying on that team though. That's what sucks. I think they got rid of a lot, and I don't know if Pascal's going to stay. I think he is a good fit, but I think there's got to be. I think Miles has to go somewhere else. I do think they got to open it up, and that's what's wrong with that team right now. But to Halliburton being hurt. Yeah, the hamstring injuries only heal with not playing. And he has no choice right now, especially if he wants that. I think it's like 250, and it then drops down to like 180 or something like that. That's a lot of M's. Yeah. A lot of M's to leave on the table. So
no facts.
Yeah. He's on how many games? 61, I think, and he has an additional game because of the in-season tournament. So
that's another thing people don't talk about. That's going to be some weird tear. Those
are hard games. They competed. Yeah. They real deal competed.
It was playoff basketball speaking of the year.
Yeah, bro.
I would say
he is at 61 right now.
Yeah.
But we mentioned DeJounte Murray a little bit there for a second. DeJounte Murray, he hit that game winner. He just beat the Celtics back-to-back games. I don't know if they played. No, they probably didn't play back-to-back days. I think they had a day in between. But either way, DeJounte Murray, that man shot 44 times. 44. That's the first time since I think they said Kobe in 2012.
Shout out Kobe.
2012. Shout out Kobe.
44 shots.
That's a Kobe stat.
For 44 too, bro.
He went, I think 19 maybe.
Yeah. That's not bad. That's not bad.
44 shots.
It was 40
points is not that great.
44 points on 44 shots. That's not all that great. But realistically speaking, his efficiency wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the best. You know what I mean?
How many assists did he have?
He had, I think, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Yeah,
and he's a defender too, so you know he's gonna be gassed.
That's arguably the best team on defense right now in the league is the Celtics. I mean, that's what he's been torching them. He's been torching.
They were without Derek White, which to be fair is that's the primary defender on him, but
was Drew playing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Drew too old, man. Drew out here. Well, I don't think you really get cooked if you take. But also, I don't think you're not getting cooked if you shoot 44 times in the NBA. Like, I don't think you're really getting cooked. So I was going to say he's going to get cooked, but I'm
if you can lose anything,
I wouldn't consider that getting cooked either because it's like you're taking that many shots.
Yeah. Y'all like Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah.
He's rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I hear him speak.
I mean, he looks like a serial killer, but he's so... What he's doing with the Celtics is I mean, it's working. I don't know if he's threatening them, but it's working.
He gives me like... what's the vibes? Like, I'll do anything to win vibes. Like, I'll do anything to
He's a serial killer, bro.
Yeah, he is. That when he tried to block that 3-point shot, this man likes to win.
Fact check for a second. Drew Holiday and Derek White both played. So DeJounte Murray shot 44 shots on two of the best perimeter defenders in the league.
Trae Young. So all the attention was on DeJounte.
Yeah, it's been his show for like
he was chucking them up.
3-game winning streak right now. Actually,
he was chucking them up.
3-game winning streak. Yeah,
maybe they trade Trae.
2 of those games were against the Celtics.
Yep. And one of them was a comeback. They were down.
Yeah, they were down 30. They were down 30.
They were actually down 30.
Yeah. And then last but not least, some of the random things that I did see. good old Kelly Oubre. The Clippers.
That's my guy.
He was a little upset. We're gonna put this clip up because it was hilarious. You could try to read his lips, and I think you're gonna know exactly what he's gonna say. He was a little upset that the referees didn't call fouls at the end. 2 fouls. I think the first one was an exaggeration by him. I think it was good defense. I think the second one was a pretty obvious foul. The referees did come back and say that both of them were fouls, even though I don't think the first one was a foul. I think it was good, a physical play. But he was a little upset, so he went up to the referees at the end of the game and he decided to tell them.
Him and Nick Nurse.
They both got fined too.
Yeah, he made a reference that I was referring to a female dog, which I will not say on this podcast, but
allegedly.
But we'll put it up on the screen for you to make your own judgment on what you think he said. So, it's a perfect segue.
I think this is perfect. Yeah.
You're telling us that you feel like Draymond may not or should not stay with the Warriors. So what's your thoughts on that, man? What are you trying to say?
I think this is the last year that we are watching the Warriors dynasty. I think Clay is not going to get re-signed, and if he does, I think he can get a better contract somewhere else, being a specialist, or maybe even a better opportunity to win. Those two things could happen for Clay, and I think Clay is one of those people that will sacrifice money to play. Money to win. He's already made enough money. He's already he's a Hall of Famer.
His dad's a basketball player too.
Yeah, and on top of that, these are all Hall of Famers when I speak about them, so I'm treading lightly. But with Draymond himself, I don't think Draymond and Steph Curry can coexist on the court as teammates in the sense of what they want from each other. I think right now, Curry is looking for someone who's consistent. I think Curry's on his Bron end of his career type shit. I want to end with some championships. I'm looking for accolades, and I think Draymond's more in the sense of I don't think Draymond's looking for accolades. I think Draymond's one step out the league and one step in. Especially with the media, I think Draymond's going to be an amazing TNT person.
Love it.
He's going to be the next. He's our Charles Barkley, and that's what people aren't noticing.
I agree with that.
He's our Charles Barkley when it comes to media. So. But when I come down to it, I'm saying I don't think that team's going to be there next year, and it sucks because we're watching the end of one of probably the best basketball changing eras like we've ever witnessed in our life. But yeah, how do you guys feel? You think Draymond's going to be there?
I don't think Draymond is going to be there for much longer. I think Steph is going to stick around.
Oh, I think
Klay Thompson gets a smaller contract.
Yeah.
But Kuminga's kind of, turning into that replacement for Draymond.
Yeah.
Completely different play styles.
Yeah.
But you're losing that scoring from Klay.
Yeah.
And you're getting it from Kuminga. It's kind of working out. You have, Podbinsky. I said his name wrong, sorry. But, I mean, he's kind of, turning into a bench scorer, starter sometimes. I think that they have a few more opportunities, but that window closes when Steph is gone.
Yeah. It's gonna be Kuminga time when Steph is gone, but that's not for another 3-4 years, I think.
Yeah.
No, I think Kuminga might actually end up making a rise much sooner. I agree that the dynasty that we know of from the Warriors is over. I don't think the Warriors dynasty in general is over. I think Curry can attract enough talent to run this back with somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't think they both leave though. I just think it would be crazy if they both end up leaving.
Yeah.
I think Draymond should leave. I think it's enough. Personally, and I don't know how deep we're gonna get into this, but I just think it's enough, man. I don't know if y'all saw it, bro, but Curry actually cried. He actually cried. It wasn't like a boohoo cry. It was out of emotion, out of frustration. I've had enough of this shit. You know what I mean? And it's how much of that are you going to deal with? You know what I mean? You're already in a stage where, I'm him. I'm still him, and I'm fighting for a playoff spot. This is because of y'all. You know what I mean? Clay, get your shit together. Draymond, get your shit together. I'm doing my part. This is because of y'all.
I don't think Clay can do much of getting his shit together. I think Clay is what we have. I think Clay is a guy coming back from ACL and
ACL and Achilles, bro.
I got something on that.
I think Clay is what Clay is. But Draymond, I will say one more time, I think Draymond. I don't think Draymond's locked in with winning anymore. I think Draymond's locked in with Draymond right now, and I think he needs to find somewhere where he feels like he needs to go win again and prove himself. And I think a team like Memphis, I think a team like an up and coming team who's ready to win a championship. I think he would be a perfect fit for that team.
I would love him on this version of the Rockets.
That's another.
When
something
Sengun
someone
is
says.
out, he's the primary ball
Come off
handler,
the
the primary
bench.
facilitator.
Get those
They're
young
running and
bucks
gunning right now, and
Yeah.
Draymond, we've seen he could do that with the Warriors.
You could even throw Al Sangoon and Draymond together, and they could
Absolutely.
still eat, bro.
It would help Sengun.
Yeah. I think he's
Defensively.
valuable in other spaces, and I think it's time. It's time for a change. But all right, so I guess I'll go to my next topic. Orlando Magic or the Orlando Tragic? We're Floridians. I'm a Floridian. So I think this Magic team, and I hate the word, we have so many potential teams. We have the Rockets, the Thunders. We have all these potential teams. But I think in the East, the young gun team right now is, to me, I mean, last year I think it was the Hawks, and I think it's been the Hawks. I thought the Hawks, we had Shadeed, we had DeAndre Hunter. We thought that was going to be the team. But I think the Magic now are the young and the gun team. I think they have so much valuable asset within Franz, within Pablo, within their guards. They're so deep at guard, man. Which is probably I think their biggest issue. I think they're too deep at guard. I think their rotation at guard is too. They have too many players that play the same position. But I think when they make a couple trades, I think they'll be good. But this season, if they can get to a second round playoffs berth, it's a successful season. I think it's an overachieving season because I think they're overachieving right now, real early. But if they can get, and even if they get a first round where they kind of get 5 to 6 games in and they kind of make it a fight, I think it's still a good season. I wouldn't get mad if they get beat by the 5th seed and the 4th because we weren't expecting much.
They have a hard matchup because they're going against either the Knicks or the Cavs, most likely, depending on seeding. And those are hard teams to go against.
Yeah.
But them getting to where they are now is good. It's Magic. They haven't been that great lately.
Yeah, I think getting to the playoffs is a successful season. As it stands right now, they'll play the Knicks in the first round. A healthy Knicks, I think, can sweep the Magic. In my personal opinion, the Magic can pull off a win or two. I just don't think Banchero is prepared for playoff basketball. I don't think he's ready. I don't think Franz Wagner. So I think going to the playoffs as a 5th seed is a successful season. Their future is bright. You know what I mean? I think this season, if we're going, Magic or Tragic, I say it's Magic for sure.
Magic for sure.
I think it's Magic.
And I think it should have been Magic last year too, but I think the injuries they had last year, they had some really key injuries. They had Wendell Carter Jr. that was hurt. Even this year he was hurt. They had a couple people that were not there. What's his name?
Falls figured it out.
Jonathan Isaac.
Jonathan Isaac's one of the best wing defenders in the NBA right now.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not going to get into it because I know that's not what it is. But just in general, I think Jonathan Isaac, you need last 5 seconds, you can stick him on any position right now in the NBA. He can guard him. But
he's a KD stopper. He plays very, very well against KD.
If you watch, I don't think anybody can stop KD, but
let me say he plays very well.
He's built to mirror him.
The numbers against it's surprising.
He can guard. He can, bro. When you go watch him, he's off the bench, bro. When you watch the defense, he'll get a steal, a block every game.
Yeah,
or he'll get both of them. He's a really good backup forward for their already deep young forward lineup. So like I was saying, I think the Magic can get a couple of those guards out of here, get a real guard. I think they should have went hard with Fred VanVleet. That was one of my biggest things. That I felt like if they get Fred VanVleet, they can be a second round playoff team.
It's had too many guards though. They had to either trade some.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go.
Oh, I can give you the names of all the slugs.
Anthony.
Yeah, Black. He doesn't even play. He's decent.
6'5" guard too. He's gonna be nice.
Yeah, they're good. It's a Magic season this year.
Yeah, I think Suggs should be the one for them because I think Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero have proven that they are phenomenal on-ball players.
Yeah,
they're great playmakers and they make players around them better.
Yeah.
So I think they could. I think Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero. I'm not comparing their talent level.
Yeah.
I'm comparing their combination, but they have a very similar chemistry to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, where they can dominate on the ball, and you can put a Marcus Smart or on the other side of it, Jalen Suggs as your one, and he doesn't have to be a traditional point guard because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be the majority of the shots anyway. You know what I mean? So, or the majority of the ball handling anyway. So I think they have that level of dynamic.
They're better.
They're great passers.
Yes. Tatum more.
Paulo Banchero is a better passer than Jason Tatum, and Wagner, whatever, is a much better passer than Jaylen Brown.
That's where they're at in their careers.
Yeah,
that's where people they've made that. I've heard that type of example, but I'm like, I think they're better than them at that age.
At that age, yes, I agree
Yeah,
100%. I think Paolo Banchero is a better player at the second-year player than Jason Tatum was a second-year player, for sure.
That's not even a knock on Jason Tatum.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
that's compliments of
Jason Tatum
Banchero.
is, of course, a better player at this point. At second year of their career, Paolo Banchero is a far better player.
Next to LeBron, I think Jason Tatum has the ability to be one of the most career decorated players. Like, if you guys watch Jason Tatum, he went to the Eastern Conference his rookie year, went back his sophomore year, and he's just stayed in the playoffs, Steve. I think if he could get himself 2 or 3 championships, he could have one of those careers where you're like, damn, he was always winning. He was always winning. I know you're a Jason Tatum enthusiast, but I think he's a little bit overrated. And I think it's hard to play with him.
I think he's the luckiest star in the league. I will say that.
All right.
Like, what other
name a basketball skill Jason Tatum does not have?
Passing.
That's not true. He's averaging at least 5 or 6 assists per game.
But that's not a skill. You could pass, but
yeah, that's fine. But he's still passing the ball. Like, it's not his.
I think he's not a good closer. That's a big skill. That's the number one skill LeBron was getting.
He is an up and down closer. You are right, and I understand the take. I get it. He is not a consistent closer, but I wouldn't say he's a bad closer. Jason Tatum has closed out plenty of games.
In the playoffs,
He scored 50 in a game 7 versus who? Versus the Bucks. Yeah. Game 7, 50 points. Oh, come on. Let's get on to Jalen Green. Let's get on to Jalen Green. Jason Tatum's going to be a topic for next year. It's crazy because I scratched him off the list. Hey, I want to talk about something else.
You haven't gone yet.
You had some opinions about. Yeah, you're right. You had some opinions about Jalen Green. Tell us about that.
Jalen Green. Ever since he found out he's about to have 3 babies, he has been ball.
3? What?
Was that confirmed?
Like he's having his third?
I heard 2 were his. I heard there was a third one.
Two were almost confirmed.
I did hear about the second one. Yeah, I did know about the third one.
Yeah, he's wilding. But but like Jalen Green right now, bro. I don't know what he's tapped into. A lot of people think it's Şengün not being there and him getting more shots and more opportunities to kind of show how good of a player he is. But do you guys think he's being a little restricted? And them trying to figure out an offense with Şengün, trying to kind of make it like how the other NBA teams have it going on, where they run through the big man? Or do you guys think they should be running through like the guards? Because I think their guards, they got a good 2 when it comes to shooting guard, point guard combo. I think they have like a top 10, maybe top 5, shooting guard, point guard combo. And I think they have some of the best wing players, young wing players in the NBA. Not as talented as like you would say like a Magic team or those other wing players, but still you got Whitmore, you got Eason, you got Smith. We went through the list last week. Yeah, we got Green. So when I get to this, like where do you guys rank Jalen Green? Like, is he better than his peers right now? Like, we're talking about the Zions, we're talking about the RJ Barretts, we're talking to people he's younger than them, but he came in with them. So that's how I judge him. Where do you guys rank him? Like, what do you guys think Jalen Green will be? Like, will he be a top 5 NBA player 5 years from now?
I would say I'll answer the original question and then that one too. So I believe Şengün is the future of Houston. I think Şengün is you put all your chips into Şengün. I think Fred VanVleet is great for them right now. Ultimately, once Şengün hits his peak, I think VanVleet is going to stand in the way of Şengün because he's a ball handler. He's a pass first guy, and Şengün's ability to get everybody involved will be impacted by VanVleet having the ball instead. So they need to find out what is going to motivate Jalen Green. So maybe try to get Pornhub back or whatever gets him motivated to play this way.
Yeah.
But when he plays this way,
that's why he's balling.
when he plays this way, he plays at his best, and I think that pairing can really have Jokic and Murray potential if they do the right things. Now, where does
question before we go real quick?
Go ahead.
So, do you think that Fred VanVleet is kind of like a buffer, and it's the reason why Jalen Green's not able to do what he needs to do because he's like the second ball like facilitator, and he kind of like
he's been playing nasty.
Has to fall in line. Do you think it goes VanVleet, Şengün, Green
in regards to playmaking, or just
the level
on the team?
How it goes, like who the ball goes to?
I think Sengun.
Sengun. You saying to set up a play? You
not
mean?
to set up a play, but like where they run the offense mostly through, like who gets the most of the actions, like who's passing the ball out of you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I think Van Vliet and Sengun are tied right now. I think by next season, Sengun goes first. I think we get it to you at the high post. We do whatever we got to do to get open. You're going to find us. I think right now they're still figuring him out.
Yeah.
And it's like even, and I don't think, I mean, Jalen Green is the other option by default. I don't think he should be. I think he just needs to be there just to get buckets.
Gotcha.
So, Jalen Green, it's controversial. In the last, since the All-Star game, I genuinely believe you cannot name 15 players that are better than him in that time period.
Say that again, I'm sorry. What was
Since the All-Star game, I don't think you can name 15 people, and possibly even 10. That's the thing. He figured out a way to unlock his athleticism to work like offensively and defensively. He's a 3-level scorer now, consistently. Mid-range, he's finishing. I mean, he's super athletic. Yeah. We know that. He's shooting the 3 super efficiently. Yeah. The Rockets, they figured out a perfect game plan for him. He doesn't just ISO anymore.
He does.
He starts the offense consistently. Low-key, very good passer. You wouldn't notice it from his assists, but I mean, 3.5 assists is not bad for a shooting guard.
Shooting first type person.
It's not about it's not about his position, though. It's about his play style.
Exactly. Yeah, he figured out that elbow jumper, that free throw jumper.
Yeah.
If you run him off the screen from the 3, he's gonna hit that every time.
His 3-point shot's been falling lately too. That's what it is.
Bro, he's shooting 42% for 3 now since All-Star game.
Yeah.
You get to the rim, he's a good passer if someone's there, but if no one's there, he's gonna finish every time.
Yeah.
I think he figured it out.
He's doing great right now. But I said it last week. I mean, I'm not a believer. If we're talking about his peers, if we're looking at his draft class was stacked. We're talking about, I don't believe he's better than Cade Cunningham. That's my personal opinion. I don't believe he's better than Franz Wagner. That's my personal opinion. I don't believe he's better than Scotty Barnes.
What sucks is he's in a better position than 2 of those.
That's true. Players. That's true. But that is it really because of him? You know what I mean? Like that's. Okay,
I do think it's a part of him,
he's on the Detroit Pistons, so whatever. Let's leave him to the side. Scotty Barnes has been carrying the Raptors, you know what I mean? But he same type of vibe. And then Franz Wagner, I think, is a by far a better player. Regardless of their position in the league right now, I think they are better. I don't think he's better than his peers. That's my personal opinion. Right now, he is playing better than them. That is correct. Overall, throughout their careers, in the last 3 years they've been in the league since they got drafted, I don't believe he's better than a lot of these players that got drafted. I think this draft class was actually pretty stacked.
You know what's wild?
No, go ahead.
No, go.
I was going to say, I think also when you name that draft class, you also got to think about those kind of players. Those are players that pass first guys. So
a lot of them,
he's a different kind of weapon when you got like Franz, Scotty. So that's why I can't even. That's why when I say when I'm thinking about him, I'm thinking like SGA, Anthony Edwards. Like, where do you guys feel like can he rank up with them? Can he be as good as them?
I don't think he'll ever play like Anthony Edwards.
He has every tool to do it.
He's a super athletic guard. I don't really have a comparison for him though, because we don't see as many like high athletic guys as him that can shoot as well. That can also defend. He's using it as an athleticism to kind of figure that out, too.
He has all the tools Anthony Edwards has.
You know what's weird?
He's a dog, though.
Absolutely.
He's a dog.
I'm telling you, I think Jamal Murray, I think his peak is Jamal Murray. I think he can be that type of player on a team. I just don't know if he could be.
He has an ISO game, too.
Yeah.
The weird thing about Green, though, look at his stats at the end of every season, the last 25 games. He completely changes every time. Yeah. He heats up, and he figured it out.
That's awesome.
But I think he's no longer becoming that microwave player, that 6-man that just comes off the bench. He's like a real deal starter now.
That's actually pretty cool that he actually heats up like that, because I didn't know that. That's actually dope.
Every time. This time, it's like noticeably different, though.
Yeah.
We've never seen it like this, but he always plays better at the end.
That's dope.
I'm a fantasy, so I know.
I also did notice that Sengun got drafted the same year too, so that adds to it.
That's a password.
That's true.
Versatility
is the name of the game. We talk about those guys that we mentioned: Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, Franz Wagner, Alperen Sengun.
Yeah,
like these are versatile players. Versatility is the name of the game this year, or not this year, this generation. You got to do multiple things, or else you are useless. If you cannot provide
the
multiple
ability to do
stats, multiple play styles. You can only do one thing.
Yeah.
That's why Jalen Green was falling off so easily because he could
Yeah.
only do one thing. It's go mode all the time.
Exactly.
But that's easy to guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because these defenders, they're too athletic. They're too smart nowadays. You know what I mean? They're too long. They're too tall. Now, if you
Yeah.
can only do one thing, I can stop you. But these guys that can do a million things, they're hard to stop. Like a Luka, like a SGA. You know, they can do so many things. It's hard to stop them.
Shots finally falling, and that's it.
Yeah,
But he's
that's
doing
another
better
thing.
though. So
Shots are-
kudos to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully, shout out to Jalen Green and send me the registry list, man.
Shout
All
out to
three.
Michelle.
I don't think we can afford his registry list, but hey,
I don't think I'm
I'll get some diapers though. No matter how rich you are, you need some diapers. They're not gonna be no Gucci diapers. But I'll get you some Minnie Mouse diapers and some Mickey Mouse diapers. But moving on, Tyler, you had some Lakers topics. I'm a Lakers guy, so I'm curious of what you got to say about Pelinka and Ham.
What do you guys think happens this postseason, or this offseason, I should say, if the Lakers don't do anything in the playoffs? Let's say they end up, getting out in the second round, third round. So far, there's a high chance that they play against Denver. If they play against Denver.
Y'all, I know this is the question to your question, but Doc Rivers or Darvin?
Doc Rivers. I absolutely think Doc Rivers. I hate Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
But, he played in the postseason deep runs for a lot of times. Like, I'm going to hate on him, but Darvin Ham
Doc Rivers, I guess,
is not it. And there's a lot of issues. It's his rotations, his leadership.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
They're disgusting. Like, I would hate playing for him. I would have no type of, rhythm playing for Darvin Ham.
He's lucky that Doc was in playoff mode. Otherwise, they probably would have lost.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to You just got me a little bit, and then I thought I was like, "Dog, this is a good thing, though. It's not a good thing. It's a bad thing." Yeah, I heard actually. Quick take. I mean, to talk about Doc, not too much, but I heard Doc doesn't know how to coach Dame because he's never had a player like Dame before.
Like who?
Like Dame. If you look at all his point guards in the past, they've all been guards, like passport point guards. Rondo, CP3. Anywhere he's went, they've all been guards who are heavily on passing the ball first.
Yeah.
So even Harden, you could argue during that time frame, he was more of a passer. Yeah.
He had to because of the offense that he runs. I think Harden didn't like playing under Doc because of the player that he made him have to be successful in that system.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, it was a good take. Point. Shout out to Gilly.
Yeah.
Gilbert again. Fire take. I wish that was mine, but I don't take no credit to shit.
I would shout them out, but I think they have enough followers.
Yeah. They need to shout us out.
Shout out
HoopTalk for real.
But to the original topic, though, I don't think Pelinka gets any heat for anything personally. I think Pelinka is one of the best GMs in the league. I think he can figure anything out personally. It just doesn't seem to work out. But I don't think it's Pelinka. He's making the right moves. Yeah, he's making the right moves. I just don't think the coaching fits the situation. I don't think the players are, playing up to their expectations. I think Ham gets all the heat for sure.
Playing good. I think D'Angelo Russell.
Not the additional pieces we got, like Jackson Hayes. He has his moments, but he hasn't really done much.
He's never gonna be that guy though.
Cam Reddish, ass. And then Christian Wood. When was the last time he played in an NBA game?
He was supposed to be like the center for AD to space it out for AD. He was supposed to be like that guy to give us space and have another
supposed
shooter.
to be not ass.
But he's so bad defensively, you can't play him for too long.
He was playing so good with Dallas the year before that. He was averaging like 17 points. But again, that could be playing with Luka and having all those open shots. But he was averaging 17 points. Gabe was averaging like 13, 15 with it. That's supposed to be, those two players right there were supposed to be like the pivotal pieces to kind of bring it all together. Because if you think about it, that's what they were missing. They were missing a point guard and a center. So, yeah, that shit just makes me mad when I think about it.
I think Pelinka deserves a little bit more criticism than what he gets. I don't think people remember some of the issues we've had with the Lakers. KCP and Caruso are gone because of him. Westbrook came because of him, and I understand he turned it around.
That was a LeBron decision, though.
I understand it was a LeBron decision, but LeBron's not the GM, though. Pelinka is still the GM. I understand. But he's still not the actual GM. Pelinka's the one that does still make that move, and he is the reason that they lost KCP and Caruso at minimum. Which, I mean, you saw KCP literally won.
Think of it this way, though. If you're producing Beyonce's album, would you tell her she's wrong? At any point, would you ever look at her and say, Beyonce, I think you're wrong?
I'm built different. Like, I'm built
that shit at all. I think kind of talk about the Lakers and their dysfunctionality. I think the fact that LeBron goes on like these public spaces and will say, "I veto things that damn," he'll say like, "Yeah, man, they're trying to switch," and I said it was on the JJ Redick podcast. We were switching and switching. I said, "Yeah, we might as well go get ready for the Wizards." You know what? We're not switching no more. And I vetoed it. I said I did. I was like, "Yo,
that was a poor choice of words.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened.
You shouldn't say that in a public platform.
They have no respect for him, though. I don't think any.
I don't. And the thing is, at first, I remember he was so decorated, and I think the only person who really liked him was the person that they shipped off, Russell Westbrook. I think he was the only.
They actually got him for Westbrook.
Yeah, I think he was the only ham guy. I don't think anybody else was a ham guy.
Schroeder.
And
so
that beat.
And how's Reddish?
Yeah, but I think Pelinka's done I think Pelinka last year, that trade he did, and this year, I think he's deservingly earned his job. I think he should be comfortable. I do think Darvin Ham needs to go, but I think we're in this Laker LeBron era where this will be like his fourth coach. In like less than like,
and it's turning into the Cavs because of that. Like there's no continuity at all. Like we're constantly changing.
The Cavs had Mike Brown the first time around, and they had T. Lue, and T. Lue now is like one of the best coaches. But yeah, like you were saying though, in general, you're right. It will be an issue having to switch. At this point, is it like really the coach's fault, or is this team not coachable?
I don't think a new coach was the right decision. I think they needed somebody with experience. I think they needed somebody that could. They needed a Ty Lue. They needed somebody that's going to look LeBron in the eye and say, "LeBron, you're wrong." You know what I mean? Somebody that's built different. You know what I mean? Like they can't have a yes man. They have to have a TyDolla over there.
Yeah.
But other than that, the players, we're top heavy. That's our problem. We're very top heavy
since last year.
We're top heavy, and the bench is like it's unreliable. Dinwiddie brings a little bit of a spark. So that could work out.
I think we're top heavy, and the top heavy isn't good top heavy. It's not good. Like we have Vanderbilts, we have Prince, we have Christian Woods, we have players that aren't the best players.
No, but when I say top heavy, I mean our starters. You look at our starting lineups with Russell, Reeves, Hachimura, LeBron, and AD. I think that's a starting lineup that can beat any team in the league. But then once you start subbing those guys out, boom, it all goes to hell. You know what I mean?
I think they were too big at one point, though. I would say, like, that's what you're saying, because they were too big. But, I think towards the season, we kind of see what they noticed that they did. They stopped rotating all those damn big men that they have, and they started just putting LeBron at the 4 and AD at the 5. And I don't like that for LeBron and AD because they're out of their position. But I think with this team that they have, it works good. Because when they first were trying that, it wasn't working. And that's why they brought in Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. But I think he's bought into the fact that he has to play center now for this team to be able to compete with those teams like the Nuggets, like those teams that have all those big boards that can run around, and they can run with those teams now, and they can switch everything, because that's the new NBA, is to switch everything. So yeah. But I think Darvin Ham has to go. I think he has to go.
I think that's the consensus. Darvin Ham needs to get fired.
It just sucks because we don't want it to happen again, but it has to happen again. Yeah.
But then you also had some matchups that happened that you wanted to discuss. Run us through that.
So one thing I was going to talk about earlier was the Magic versus the Knicks. They played a few games this season. It has gone back and forth. Though that matchup is going to be extremely interesting. And it's either going to be the Knicks or the Cavs, who have both played great series this season. Yeah. The thing I'm most interested in is on that Magic team, who is going to stop anyone from getting into the paint realistically? So you're going to have Darius Garland, probably the most shifty guard that we have in the league. That man has a bag as deep as you can get. You're going to have him attacking the paint consistently. You're going to have him passing out. You're going to have him lobbing to Jared Allen. That's going to be rough for them. On top of that, you're going to have a matchup between Banchero and then Mobley, which is almost neutralizes him when they play. I really wonder what's going to happen there. What do you guys think?
I think against the Cavs, they have a much higher opportunity to win.
Against Cavs.
I think they have a much higher opportunity to win that series. I think it's possible. Donovan Mitchell's a playoff performer, but I don't think Garland's going to really just wow anybody. You know what I mean? I think Mobley, at the end of the day, is really just like a 3-and-D power forward. That's how I look at him.
He's a paint defender too.
Or like a two-way, power forward. So I just don't think they have the firepower to be like a favorite. But statistically speaking, they would probably beat the Magic. Probably. I think the Knicks healthy would sweep the Magic.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think they're going to be healthy. That's the sad part. I think this season for Jalen Brunson and that matchup is going to be tougher than we think it is because I think the Magics are one of the best defensive team. I think they're like up there, like
Yeah, they're
top
up there.
five. And when we talk, when you say playoff matchups, are you saying which ones we would want to see, or just in general? Like,
How do you think that would go between either the Cavs or the Knicks versus the Magic?
I think the Knicks, like he said, it's either if they're healthy, it's all go, it's a sweep. But if they're not, I think I'm taking Jalen Brunson as the best player in that series. But at the same time, I just can't see him beating a healthy Magic team like 4 times in a row by himself, or 4 times in general by
I don't
himself.
see it either.
They're too small too for that Magic team. Even when you're bringing back OG in them, they're still kind of small. Because that Magic team is huge. Like they're big. They're a big team.
They're big and they're fast.
Yeah, and their passing's coming from their forward position. It's not really like their guards. Their guards are running the lanes. Like Cole Anthony, I didn't even get to shout him out, but Cole Anthony, low key, should be in the Sixth Man of the Year award, like chasing it. Not saying that he should be winning it, but at least top 5
annually every year so far.
Yeah, he is a very. I hope they don't trade him. I hope they keep him, and I hope they get themselves a starting point guard. But I think when it comes to that Cavs team, the Cavs team match up pretty good against the Magic when it comes to size. But I think Donovan Mitchell can beat them with a healthy Cavs team. I think Donovan Mitchell can get them some fits because they don't, like I said, they have weak guard play like you said.
Yeah.
Compared to like the Cavs and stuff like that. So I think the Cavs can beat them just strictly off guard play. I don't think the forwards can do enough like their guards can. So yeah, 100%.
What about this matchup? Right now, it's looking like the Lakers are most likely at most going to be the 9th seed, which will put them in the 8th seed once they get to the playoffs. They are most likely going to line up against Denver. Would you prefer that the Lakers play Denver first or later in the playoffs?
Later,
100%. Without a shadow of a doubt. I think playing a fresh Nuggets, that's another 4-0 sweep. I think if they could somehow match up with somebody that can really just tire out
Minnesota, I think Minnesota,
Jokic just a little bit, then we can come in and make some differences. We signed Harry Giles. What is he gonna do? You know what I mean? Like we signed Jackson.
Since we signed him.
We haven't played yet. You know what I mean?
Since
Jackson Hayes. He's gonna he's a big body, so I respect him. He's gonna give Jokic some difficulty here and there. But like, man, if we have to play the Nuggets again, bro, it's just that's the only team that I'm afraid of. As a Lakers fan, that's what I mean. As a Lakers fan in the West, I don't think the Lakers can beat the Nuggets. Even as a Lakers fan, Lakers enthusiast, however you want to call it, I don't think the Nuggets could lose against the Lakers.
Beat the Nuggets right now, and I think it's like when you watch them play like this year. Kind of not to interrupt. I'm sorry, no, you're good. I think the Nuggets are like an AAU team. Like they've been playing together for since.
Hey, you team against middle school team.
No. They've been playing together since like 5th grade.
Oh yeah.
So they know. Oh, he's in the back door. That's perfect. That's going to be there every time. I think their tendencies as a team and the way they keep that nucleus alive with that starting floor. Because when you put in anything else but that, they're filling guys. They're other than Porter, Aaron and Murray and Nikolai, the rest of the guys are specialists, shooters, 3-and-D guys. So I mean, other than Bruce Brown when he was on that team, I think, like I said, I think the Nuggets are like light years ahead of everybody, and I think it's because of the guy in the middle. I don't think there's a big man other than Joel Embiid that can really
beat you. An offense like that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, when it goes inside out, I don't think you can really beat that team. And I think the West has a very, very rude awakening in the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think they play off of the defense. However the defense sets up, that's how they play. And they memorize whenever the defense does this is what our players are told to do. We know that they are trusted to do that every time. If this player comes here, cut behind him. No, Jokic knows. I see that player. He came here. That means KCP is going to cut behind. I'm just going to throw it. KCP is going to be there.
Yeah.
They have this discipline to know like this is what coach told us is going to happen. In these situations, we have to do it. And as long as all 5 players on the court do it every single time, we're going to score. All I got to do is make the pass because I know he's going to be there. It's Jokic is the Steve Nash of centers.
Yeah.
He knows what players are going to be, and he just throws the ball in that direction. As long as I can trust you to be there, that is an assist.
This would be a little controversial. I actually think the Lakers would want to play them first.
Get them out the way.
Yeah, it's either you get them out the way or you stop there. But I say that because once they go through 1, 2, maybe even 3 series against the young guys that would be playing, because they're either going to play against the Timberwolves or OKC. You know, they run a lot. They're quick. They're athletic. They're long. They're going to play against them. They're going to get tired out in the first round. Maybe they win. They go to the second round. Who are they going to play next? They're going to tire them out again, and then they're going to get to the Nuggets, which I don't know what it is, but nothing affects that team. Those dudes, they don't really get tired. They're used to playing these long overtime games from like the Portland days.
Yeah. Well, last year they were blowing people out before halftime.
Yeah.
Some Heat games were done by like the third quarter.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather figure it out now in that first round when you're fully healthy, everyone is fully energized, rather than you waiting, going through 2 full series, and you know they probably finish their series in 4 to 5 games. You're playing 7 games.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. If it makes sense if we can beat them, you know what I mean? If we have the ability to get it together and beat them, then it does make sense to get them out the way. You can name any team in the Western Conference, and aside from the Nuggets, and I don't think they can beat the Lakers in a 7-game series. No matter what the Lakers are doing right now, no matter what the matchups look like, the Wolves have the best matchup possibility, but I just don't think these
I don't even think they have that anymore because they lost Cat.
Yeah. He's out for good.
We actually haven't got word on that yet.
Yeah, I know he's out. I think he's missing the first round, if I'm not mistaken. But either way,
you got to think about it. This man's coming back from a meniscus tear to come play.
True.
Basketball.
That's fine. Not gonna happen.
I would not come back from him. It depends. It all depends. You know, it's different.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But you know, he's coming back from a full flow knee injury, like a surgery. So I don't think so.
I just don't think Cat's a difference maker, in my personal opinion. I just don't think he's a difference maker.
I just think he helps. That's all. But I don't think that's the needle that puts him over.
I think he's a mixed match. So he can put either Porter on that post, or he can put Aaron Gordon on the block. I think he's a good mixed match player. But like he was saying, like when it comes down from like 1 to 5, man, that 1 to 4 is probably the best. 1 to 4 at least is probably the best starting 4 in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets. Consistency and also knowing how to play with each other. Like you got a sniper on one corner, your point guard's a sniper / playmaker, your big man's the sniper / post-up player / there's too many different variables with that team, and they know how to use the variables and how it matters. And you know, now that they won the chip, you know that was their biggest issue. They couldn't close games out because the Nuggets have been good, but
they have.
Yeah, not to glaze on the Nuggets, but they're what NBA teams are trying to be. You see it now with the split actions they're running. I mean, Draymond was kind of like we had a little bit with Draymond. But Nikolai took that shit and ran with it.
Yeah.
Became everything.
Nothing.
You put Nikolai in Draymond's position, imagine how good the Warriors would be.
It'd be interesting because they lose a lot defensively, but offensively, imagine Steph Curry running around screens with Jokic passing
screen / passer, bro. He does what Draymond does, but like at like a legendary level.
Yeah.
Man. That shit would be amazing.
Yeah, but for the sake of time, I'm actually gonna dial down one of my topics because now that we're on this AD talk, there was a topic that I had in mind. I just said, you know, maybe I'll save it for another day. But I think now is a good time because AD's been doing great, man. I think the narrative needs to change immediately. I think the whole AD is soft to me is just stupid.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
I don't understand the narrative. Like AD. What I don't like is the casual fans that are only going to give you a take based on recency bias. Yeah. You know what I mean? If he's injured and not playing at his best, he's soft. Once he's healthy and playing at his best, all of a sudden,
I do think
AD's
he's
back.
a little boy, though.
You know what I mean? He's a power forward trying to play against centers. You know what I mean? So, there's going to be a size differential there against the bigger centers, but he gets it done. Let me go back to 2020 finals where he rolls his ankle in Game 5. He's not supposed to play in Game 6, but he wants to win a championship. What does he do? I'm coming in this game. He not only comes in the game, he hits a go-ahead 3 to get them a comfortable lead, a dagger 3. But that's not even the important part. He says, I'm going to play this game. My doctor said I'm not, but I'm going to because I want to win a championship. What does he do? I want to guard the best player on the other side of the court. He's not even a big man. The other best player was Jimmy Butler,
He had him on
a wing, a perimeter player. He said, I want Jimmy.
They really had him at the power. They really had him at small forward playing.
Yes, not even. He's playing. They're just switching it up. You know what I mean? Like every single screen he calls, I'm switching that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guard you and I'm gonna lock you up because I want to win a championship. But AD's soft, right? Yeah. Then we got last night or 2 nights ago versus the Bucks. He hurts his leg. You know what I mean? He plays bad in the first half. He had a relatively, I think the third quarter is when he started taking off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But he hurts his leg, you know what I mean? And he's having a bad game. So what? AD's soft, right? He can't hang with Giannis. He can't play against Giannis because he's hurt. Recency bias. But what does AD say? No, I want to win this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to guard Giannis. You're going to do a pick and roll with Dame? I'll switch on Dame. I will guard Dame. And I can guarantee you he will not get a shot over me. What happens? He blocks 2 or 3 times, you know what I mean, or contests at the very least. So the narrative that AD is soft just starts bothering me because it's like the injuries don't make a player soft.
Yeah.
The injuries just make a player have to take a step back, and it sucks. I get it. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean a player is lesser than what he is. I hate the criticism on players when they're injured, when they're not playing at their best. If he was healthy and playing like ass, then I would understand. Like AD's not soft. On the contrary, I truly believe AD got more dog in him than most players in the league right now.
Yeah. You don't play injured unless you have dog.
Exactly.
You absolutely don't.
Exactly.
He kicked Lil Wayne out the crypto arena.
What? He did?
Well, listen, Lil Wayne said at the beginning of the season we should trade AD. But this is my hot take on AD. This is my hot take on AD, and you guys can choose to take it or not. I think AD seasons are all different. I think AD seasons are like spots on a Dalmatian. You don't know what you're gonna get, or even I got a better one. It's like an assorted bag of, like, you guys know those chips, pretzels, and you get all those different different types of things. I think these last couple years, we've just been getting a lot of raisins, and now that we're getting more M&Ms now, it's like, okay, but I need to see this.
That's a dope analogy.
Yeah, smart. I think
you got a bag. I didn't even know.
But I think AD, like I said, he's given us a lot of raises, and now we're getting some M&Ms. But I don't want to get a sweet tooth. I don't want to stay here and think that we're going to get this AD every night when we don't even get it this year.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I know AD was about to be off the next night. Not that they had double overtime. It's because he fell on the floor. As soon as he fell on the floor, AD's not playing the next day. And it's not no knock on him. He has to protect his body, but I think that's how he protects his body this year. I think getting hurt and then saying I'm not going to play through it is better for him versus him being a little softer or him being more cautious. That's the word, soft. It's cautious. I think has served him a lot this year. And also, I remember last year we were talking so much about his weight and him being so strong and how his body couldn't hold it. I think the weight looks good on him this year. I think he finally because he was a little bigger last year.
Yeah.
If you guys looked at him, he was a lot more stockier. Yeah. I think he kind of found his way. I think he found his man body. Because the AD's also 30? What? He's even in 30s yet?
I think he just turned 30.
He's turned 30, yeah.
He's in his prime. He's right now in his prime. And I think right now, this is where he needs to make his legacy built. This is where we remember you. We don't remember LeBron when he's 18, even though he was amazing when he was 21, 25.
We're on the Heat.
That's when he turned 30. Kobe, that's around his. Kobe had Shaq, but where was Shaq at? Shaq was damn near going to his 30s. There's not a lot of players that we look at and they're good off the rip. They have to mature. Basketball's like wine. You gotta keep playing. You gotta keep doing it until you become good. And like I said, like you're saying, I think AD this year has finally figured it out with his body, his mind, his basketball, and I think he's starting to notice my basketball comes with my defense first, and I think he should win Defensive Player of the Year. I think he should win.
I agree.
I think this, and I was last week I was kind of opposed to it. I think Victor should have won it. I don't think you should win Defensive Player of the Year if you can't win MVP on that team. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say he was an MVP voting. I don't think that team's good enough for him to get an accolade for doing something. Right. I think AD deserves Defensive Player of the Year, and if they don't
he's arguably the most versatile defender in the NBA.
He's
arguably
defender in the NBA.
Like when you're thought, yeah, absolutely.
I'm talking about like like I think the only person I think that could be just as good as him. I'm gonna throw some names out there. I think Jabari Smith can be as good as him. I think
he's underrated defensively.
He can guard 1 through 5 if he wants to. Ben Simmons. Like, if we get him back, I think Ben Simmons is another guy. Sure. Like, he's kind of like that AD, like, body-wise. Like, I think he's another guy where I hope he can land somewhere where he can play good and he can have an opportunity. But, yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr., too.
But I don't think Jared can sit in that chair that long.
No,
like
but
AD and the boys.
He has a perimeter game. He's quicker than you think.
Yeah, like, I just don't think you can start a possession with Jaren Jackson on somebody in the perimeter. I think you can trust AD to start a possession on a perimeter player.
Oh, he's good.
Like, I think like you don't want it to be the entire game, but let's say 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you can sit on Jimmy Butler, you can sit on Jason Tatum, you can sit. You know, they're probably gonna get their buckets, but you can sit on KD, you can sit on Booker. You know what I mean? I don't think. Would you really trust Jaren Jackson to sit on Booker? You know, to sit on these guys on switches. But you're talking about you're gonna like go out there and disturb him for the next 2 minutes. Let's say
that is what makes Jaren Jackson good, though, is being able to switch and
on switches,
like 5 to 7 seconds. That's one thing I learned from a high level coach. Is like, if you're a big man and you can get a switch and hold yourself down for 6 to 7 seconds, you're golden.
That's a lot.
That's an NBA time. I mean, half a second for an NBA time is like forever.
You can stand your ground for 3-4 seconds, and they're just gonna pass out. You know what I mean? Boom, you did your job. As soon as he passes the ball, bang. That's That's lock up defense right there.
Yeah.
With the Lakers, though, I don't think that they can unlock their like true winning potential if AD is not playing the defense he is now.
Yeah.
So if he goes down with an injury in these last couple of games or something, or if he plays against
cross our fingers.
But if he plays against a center that is constantly botting him up and he's not able to play that help defense,
same player.
It's a lot harder for him. But him slimming down a little bit, him playing a little bit more of the perimeter game. He's shooting threes. He hit like 2 threes during the Bucks game. That's the AD that you need if the Lakers want to win. Without that,
that's the AD that I promise you we're going to see in the playoffs.
Like, that's what I want.
AD. Another thing, and that's where I'll wrap it up when it comes to the AD conversation, is AD is a playoff performer.
Yes.
He's never had a year. Last year was probably his worst performance, and it wasn't because he didn't perform well. It was just offensively, he wasn't the threat that we needed him to be. He wasn't out there trying to go for 30. He was consistently in that 25 points per game range.
He had to defend the whole time.
Yeah, where he had to defend so much. You know what I mean? Like it was tiring, but AD is a playoff performer. You look at his playoff performances throughout his career, and AD is consistently, one of the top performers.
I think these last 2 years before, this year, he was with Russell Westbrook. Yeah. And they were dealing with that experimental child thing. Like, he was getting a lot of passes from Russell, but you got to think about it. He wasn't touching the ball as much as he is now because Russ had to touch the ball. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I think the reason why we're kind of seeing this resurgence on offense as well is because he's getting his touches at the spots where he wants it. And LeBron, playing with him so long, if you watch LeBron get AD an easy 13, 15 points just by, oh, you're going to be there? Okay, that's a spot off a roll. So I think also it's the playmakers he has with him now. I think they're way better. And that's no knock to Russell Westbrook. He's a great playmaker, but naturally, like being a natural playmaker, I think Austin Reeves is a little better. I think D'Angelo Russell's a little better. We all know LeBron.
Especially in this time because they have an offensive game.
Yeah, that offense just fits better. Everything fits. I think this is his – I think he seems so comfortable this year. And I think he wants to be – I think he's going to end a Laker. I think he can retire a Laker if he wants to. For sure.
We're running out of time, but I think we can fit in one last quick little rundown.
Let's do it.
I had a little I think I saw it on I think it was Gil's Arena. I think I saw them have a debate about a certain player. I forget who the player was off the top of my head, unfortunately, but they had a debate about a player, and whether or not he deserved Hall of Fame honors. But Kevin Love, what do you say? Hall of Fame or not?
I'm a Hall of Famer. He won a championship, and he also has one of the biggest stops in NBA history.
Absolutely.
Against one of the best shooters in his prime.
True.
NBA
he also had a 30-30. I think his Timberwolves days are not talked about ever, and they do kind of deserve to be talked about.
So Hall of Fame?
I think.
If he retires, you think it's
the
I think so.
championship Cleveland's ever won. Yeah. I think Kyrie, LeBron, and Love winning that championship's Hall of Fame.
Did they win with the
LeBron already prior to that? But
we'll have to look that up. But
but he was a great player in UCLA.
Okay, because if they won, I'd say yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's another thing. It is a basketball Hall of Fame. It's not an NBA Hall of Fame. A lot of people don't realize that. So their careers in high school, overseas, and college, that all matters. So that's another.
But so that all matters. High school. I think Love was nice in college too. I think Love was a one and done though, right? Love was a one and done.
I think he
was 2 years.
Yeah. So I think he deservedly. The one name I know who sticks out. I think we all, when we get there, who it is. But yeah, I think Love's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think Kevin Love Hall of Fame for sure. I think he's the least debatable there. But Blake Griffin, Hall of Fame or not?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's a first ballot. I think he's one of those guys that goes in when he's like 50, 60 years old. I think he was pivotal, but he wasn't a generational player. He didn't win anything. He didn't win any MVPs. He wasn't he was a good player for his time, but he wasn't oh my God, do you remember when Blake dropped 50? It was never anything like that. So I don't think so.
For me, there's a Hall of Fame and then there's a Hall of Very Good.
He's definitely first ballot.
He's very good, but he didn't do anything enough. I should say. I don't even think he has a gold ring. Gold medal.
Yeah, I agree that he probably didn't do enough, but you have to consider we're looking at a multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time All-NBA player. He also was an All-Star on 2 separate teams, which I think holds weight. I agree that maybe he didn't do enough, but because of his influence as a highlight machine, he did it for the culture. You know what I mean? So I genuinely believe that it will take him a while before he finally gets there, but I do think he is a Hall of Famer. I think it's just going to be a while before we see that happen. Yeah. Once they run out of names to pick, I think they're going to be
22nd ballot.
He's definitely not a first ballot. You have to be a certain player to be a first ballot.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think anybody on this list is a first ballot.
There's only one guy, but it's because he has no.
That might be a first ballot. We'll see when we get there. DeMar DeRozan, Hall of Fame or not?
No.
I
no.
think so, because I'm almost certain that he has 2 gold medals.
I'm not sure, but
and possibly. Gold medals, it's basketball Hall of Fame. It's not NBA. I think because of that, he has at least one.
Yeah, I don't think he's first. He's another kind of like Blake Griffin. I don't think he's another.
He's not a first second ballot.
Yeah, he's not a first ballot guy. He's gonna be. Come on, we gotta get DeMar in there.
I think that's a possibility. That's gonna hold some weight. If he has, I don't know if he does. We'll look it up and see, and we'll put it on the screen. But I think because he was a franchise player, I think that holds enough weight to make him a Hall of Famer.
All these guys on this list were franchise players, though.
That's debatable, but he had. So we'll get there. I'll mark him off once we say names. I don't want to spoil any other names.
Gotcha.
But DeMar DeRozan was a guy in Toronto. You know what I mean? So he is the all-time great of Toronto Raptors history. So I think that holds enough weight. But he is. I think it holds enough weight, but I'm going to contradict myself and say I think not. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
I think Blake Griffin's more of a Hall of Famer than he is.
I agree. I 100% agree.
We're just going to have to agree to disagree, guys.
Gilbert Arenas.
No, because of the gun. That's it.
No, let's just remove that part of it. Let's just look at it from basketball perspective.
Are we taking this whole history away? If we're just talking basketball, yes. If we are talking basketball player and who he is, because at the end of the day, Hall of Fame is who you are. There'd be a lot more.
Yeah, just basketball. High school, college, NBA. Just disregard his, personal agendas and.
I don't think so.
No, he's still no MVP. Never won anything. I do think he has a gold medal though.
2-time All-Star. No, he doesn't. He lost that.
Yeah, he lost that year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think. I'm sorry, Gil, man, but I think Gilbert Arenas is an easy no. I don't think he did absolutely anything.
He's a good player, though. I think he's a great player. I think he's got that Brandon Jennings vibes. I think that's why they all hang out. They all have the same vibe. They all have that same vibe. Like, they were good, but they weren't great. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think
They
he'll
were
order
very
as a Hall of Famer. If he makes it, man, that's really going to change the mold
next
of how it
one,
works.
I'm standing on.
Okay.
Business on
Vince Carter.
Yes.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Hands
No,
down.
absolutely. That man literally murdered someone in the Olympics.
I think he's
For a gold medal.
I think he has that same issue that these other players are having, like DeMar and Blake. I don't think he was like an amazing basketball player, but I think one thing about Vincent was he was a symbol. He was like an icon. I don't think these guys are icons. Like, people still wear that Raptors jersey.
True.
You know,
cleanest.
People still do his dunks in the dunk contest. The dunk contest is known by two players, Michael Jordan and him. In a sense of who like made it a national thing. I don't think anybody. I mean, you know, the newer players. You know, obviously we have some players like Aaron Gordon and them that kind of did their thing, and Zach LaVine. But when I'm talking about like sensational, like people would say it to this day. Like, if he had a work ethic, he would have been better than Kobe.
Yeah, facts.
And he didn't. And that's what's insane. He had no work ethic, and he can still dunk. So I think, to me, he's a first ballot. But when it comes to accolades, no.
Oh no, I don't think he's the first ballot.
I think
he gets in there 3, 4, 5 ballots in.
Oh, he's coming in soon. He's going to be in that Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
he's going to.
He could be. You might be right, and I could see them voting him in. My personal opinion, though, go ahead. I'll let you go first. Actually,
I already said, he killed a man.
He's just sticking. He's standing on business on that.
I think he's debatable. I think he'll get in there, but if it's my personal opinion, I hate to be negative, but I just don't think his accomplishments hold any weight. I'm sorry. Yeah. The gold medal might be the one thing that gets him there, but aside from that gold medal, like, I don't think his accomplishments hold enough weight. However, you know, his tenure in Toronto could be a big part of it, but he lost that to DeMar. DeMar is the Toronto guy now. You know what I mean? So
I think on this list, though, when we're looking at it, other than Love, he's the only other guy who's been in the NBA Finals. He went back-to-back years with the Nets. So that's another thing.
Wasn't he also on that Mavericks team?
No, he wasn't. He was on that team the year after.
Yep.
Ain't that a butt? Ain't that a mother? But
these next two I think are easy.
Go ahead. We're on short on time, but you think Vince gets in quicker than all the other guys other than Love?
Yes.
I actually think he gets in quicker than Love.
No, I think Love gets in. I think
he's retiring.
Carter is retired already, so they're going to start considering him soon.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to get in first.
I think you said Love is going to get in quicker.
No, I think Vince.
It doesn't matter when you retire; it's how fast you get in.
How fast you get in after you retire? How many years it takes you to get there? Yeah. You have to wait a certain amount of years, though. But
5, I think.
It's a little less, I believe.
No, I think
because Dwayne Wade just got in there a couple years ago, didn't he?
Dwayne Wade got in there quick. He got quick in there.
Dwayne Wade was the first ballot. As soon as he was eligible, he got in.
I think he'll be second ballot, though. Absolutely.
Who? Vince Carter?
I think both of them will be second ballot.
Vince Carter and Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love will get in there third or fourth.
It depends on who he's going in there with, too.
That's true. We have to consider who is going to be eligible around that time.
How many people are retiring currently that are going to get in the Hall of Fame?
That's the problem with Kevin Love. He might just retire around the same time that guys like Curry and LeBron. That's going to hold him back.
That's going to be a crazy.
That's going to hold him back. Party. Yeah,
I watched that. I didn't watch the Kobe one. It was kind of sad, his retirement one. I didn't get to watch it, but I didn't really watch a lot of Kobe stuff when he passed away because it was just too much for me.
Facts.
But I think Vince is going to be a first ballot. Now that we're thinking about it,
if we're looking at from the point of retirement to the point of entry, I think Vince Carter gets in the fastest. Yeah.
T-Mac and him own that.
That's somebody I should have added. Oh, he got put into the Hall of Fame. He did. So
I don't think he was the first.
That's who it was. T-Mac. That's why the conversation got sparked on Gil's Arena. Yeah. They were saying he shouldn't be, which I could agree. But let's not get into that because we don't got time. But the last two that I had that I thought fit into the situation, Paul George, Hall of Fame or not, if he retires.
The same way as T-Mac.
I think it's a little too early to have the debate, but, you know.
Yeah. How old is Paul George?
About 30.
He's
I think 34, 35. Yeah.
But it's the same thing with T-Mac, though. He never really won anything. He started in MVP voting 1 year, but that's about it.
Oh, 33.
Great series against the Heat, but
he has to win at least one championship to be a first ballot to me.
I think you need a championship, a gold medal, or an MVP.
I think it was
MVP
crazy.
is out of the question. I don't think Paul George will ever be on an Olympic team again. I don't think so.
Not after what happened. I would never even risk it.
That was sick.
I don't think
I don't think he's ever played recreational basketball.
That's not what
And Gordon Hayward.
No.
Gordon Hayward
And
was
Sean
crazy.
Livingston.
Gordon Hayward, I was at work, bro. We'll talk about the crazy injuries. That's a good topic.
But did you say no to Paul George?
He needs to win championships.
You said no?
Yeah.
I think he's an easy
I think
no.
all-stars don't define if you're a Hall of Famer.
It can definitely hold some weight if you have enough of them.
It helps.
You have enough of them, yeah, for
20
sure.
years when you're like 70, they finally let you
He
in.
also doesn't have like a stellar college career. He doesn't have a stellar high school career. Well, he might have a stellar high school career, maybe.
They all do. Usually.
Yeah, they all usually do, but I don't think he has a stellar college career. He was probably good in college. I'm sure he was raw, but nothing that's memorable. And then last but not least, DeMarcus Cousins.
This one's
I think he has a gold medal.
He does, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
I think he's a Hall of very good.
Yeah, he's a Hall of all right. Ooh, I'm sorry.
He's the best center for like a decade.
Nah, he was not. I beg it different. I think.
Wait, what did you say?
He was like the best center for a decade.
A decade?
I think it was 5 years.
I think AD was a better center than him.
He was a forward though. He's forward.
But he played center before he got there.
No, on the Pelicans.
No, he was a 4 on the Pelicans for the majority.
I
Yeah.
still would take AD.
A decade is crazy because he overlapped Dwight Howard and then he overlapped guys like AD, guys like.
But this is Lakers.
Joel.
That's Lakers Dwight, and then Rockets Dwight. It's not really the same.
No, he overlapped Magic Dwight.
Yeah, I forgot. He got dropped in like 2010.
Yeah,
the Kings team was actually pretty straight. Tariq Evans, Isaiah Thomas,
Rondo, Rudy Gay.
Yeah,
Cousins is an easy no for me.
It's easy no. I don't think he has no accolades. I don't think he has enough anything. Honestly, I feel bad for him because he just got hurt.
But he might have 2 gold medals, which might be enough.
It might be enough. Like he might be one of those players. Like I said, when he's like 50 years old and he's about to die, they're doing it off like the strength of like, we love you, DeMarcus.
A 30-second ballot Hall of Fame is still a Hall of Fame.
It's still a Hall of Fame. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell my kids I got him first.
So I think all these players are Hall of Famers.
Man.
No gold medals?
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I looked at the wrong place. Yeah, 2 gold medals. You're right.
He did win that one summer
enough.
with KD and the boys when the Australian team was actually pretty decent.
I think 12 and 16, right?
2014 and 2016. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so one of them's FIBA then.
I mean,
one of them's FIBA, one's in Olympics.
Yeah, one of them is that's still a gold medal though.
I don't know. I don't think count that.
It's basketball.
Melo is Melo is the king of the Olympics.
Yeah,
I don't think
Melo is 100% a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is an Olympic god. He is a college god. He is like he won a championship in Syracuse and came to the NBA.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
His best feats are all not in the NBA.
No, that's nice. He is a generational player in the NBA, though. He deserves the credit. Yeah, he's first ballot, I think, in my opinion. First ballot, easy. I think that's where we're going to have to wrap it up. I see the guy looking through us through the window there, so I think he wants us out of here. But thank y'all for tuning in, man, for another episode of Hoop Talk, man. Keep going ahead and hitting that like button, subscribe, share with all your friends and family. We love the support. We're really trying to take this to the next level. We're going to continue to improve everything, our setting, our equipment, everything. So as long as y'all are here with us for the ride, man, you're going to enjoy us forever, and we're going to enjoy doing this forever. Once
we
again,
need sponsorships, man. We need that ad money, man. Nike.
Yes. Also, we're on multiple platforms. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify.
Yes.
We're on YouTube podcasts.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But like I said, thanks for tuning in to episode 2 of Hoop Talk. We are here at Studio D3 Orlando. Shout out to them for giving us this space to record. Shout out to y'all for tuning in. Last thing I'll tell you one more time, hit that subscribe, hit that like. We'll see you next week. Get ready to do some more hoop talking, man.
See y'all later.
You just deaf? God damn.